Good evening and welcome to Burst into Book Virtual Bedtime Stories. I am your guest reader tonight, Nicole Watson, and we're going to read May Among the Stars by Rhoda Ahmed, illustrated by Stasia Burrington. May Among the Stars is inspired by the story of Mae Jemison, the first African American woman in space. Little May was a dreamer. They say that daydreamers never succeed, but little May was different. One day, May was working on an assignment for school about what she wanted to be when she grew up. What will you tell them, May? I will tell them that I want to see the earth. This is the earth, May, her mother said. The flowers, the grass, the forest, and the mountains. We live on the earth. I know, but I want to see the earth from out there. That's an amazing plan, little May. Then you have to become an astronaut. That way you can see Earth from space. Astronaut? Do you think I could be that? Of course you can. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. May asked her mom to take her to the library. She searched for books about space and astronauts. After dinner, May drew pictures of space, and she even made her own astronaut costume out of orange curtains and cardboard boxes. Later, she asked her dad, "But how do I become an astronaut? It seems impossible." You will find your way, May, because if you dream it, believe in it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. But space is so far away. It's closer than you think, little May, and you may get there sooner than you think. That night, May had a happy dream. She was dancing in space, surrounded by billions of sparkling stars. Below her, she could see Earth floating and turning like a shining crystal ball. The next morning, May told her parents about her dream. She wanted to tell everyone, and every time she talked about it, her eyes would light up. In the classroom, Miss Bell told everyone to stand in a line on the rug. Today, we are all going to share our dreams about the future. What do you want to be? And what do you want to do when you grow up? Who wants to go first? I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a teacher. football player. I want to be a mom. I want to go to space. I want to be an astronaut. All the kids started laughing. Miss Bell asked, May, are you sure you don't want to be a nurse? Nursing would be a good profession for someone like you. I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be an astronaut. May felt very disappointed. On her way home from school, May was quiet. She looked out the car window. Her world turned blue and cold. Nothing was the way it used to be. At home, May started crying. Miss Bell said I can't become an astronaut. What a silly thing to say, said her mother. She told me I should be a nurse instead, said May. Her mom wiped away her tears. My dear May, I hope you didn't believe her. Of course I believed her. She's my teacher. I'm sorry Miss Bell didn't encourage you, but she can't stop you. No one can stop you. Follow your dream, May, and go to space. Thank you, Mom. I promise when I get to space, I will wave to you and Dad from the spaceship. Her mom took her hand and they started dancing. You must always repeat to yourself, if I can dream it, if I can believe in it, and if I can work hard for it, anything is possible. May went on dreaming, believing, and working really hard. And guess what? She went to space and waved to her mom and dad on Earth. Dr. Mae Jemison. Mae Carol Jemison was born October 17th, 1956, in Decatur, Alabama. May always loved science. She loved being outside and looking up at the stars, knowing that one day she would travel to space. May is highly educated. She graduated from Morgan Park High School in 1973, and at the incredible age of 16, she enrolled at Stanford University, earning a Bachelor of Science degree in chemical engineering in 1977. After May got her MD in 1981 from Cornell Medical College, she briefly worked as a general practitioner before leaving to work with the Peace Corps as a medical officer in Liberia and Sierra Leone. When she returned home, May decided to follow her childhood dreams of going to space, and she accomplished many firsts. She applied to NASA's astronaut program, and on June 4th, 1987, she was accepted. She became the first African American female astronaut. On September 12th, 1992, May's dream finally came true when she traveled to space on the shuttle Endeavour, mission STS 47. It was then that May officially became the first African American woman in space. May left NASA in 1993 and became the first real astronaut to act in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Today, she heads the Jemison Group and the Dorothy Jemison Foundation for Excellence. May speaks fluent Russian, Japanese, and Swahili. The book that we read is May Among the Stars by Rhoda Ahmed and illustrated by Stasia Burrington. Next, we're going to read Last Stop on Market Street by Matt De La Pena and illustrated by Christian Robinson. Last Stop on Market Street. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees be getting thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go anywhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses, too, the man said, sniffing the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, man. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got over next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered. I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the air, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti tagged windows and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arching over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamp still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now come on." The end. That was Last Stop on Market Street by Matt De La Pena and illustrated by Christian Robinson. I think we might have time for one more book. Beyonce, Shine Your Light, written by Sarah Warren and Geneva Bowers. Beyonce was quiet, a push and empty swing kind of quiet. That's how most of the world saw her until one teacher looked closer. "She can sing. Do you know she can sing?" On stage, Beyonce became a different person, dazzling, confident, bold. This was where she belonged. Beyonce performed everywhere. No stage, she made her own. Beyonce had a dream. Someday she'd share her gift with the world. Beyonce joined a girl group. They worked hard, they shared their dreams, they had each other. They entered a contest. They lost. They learned. They worked harder. Beyonce's family gave everything they had. Her mother fashioned them into stars, designing, stitching, styling. She also paid the bills. Her father aimed high, coaching, planning, publicizing. It was still Beyonce's dream, but other people decided how to make her dream come true. Beyonce paid attention. She learned. The group performed everywhere. Wherever they went, they made it the biggest show on earth. Best friends began new adventures. They cheered each other on. Before a show, Beyonce practiced until midnight, until 1 a.m., until 2 a.m., until 3 a.m. She rushed around the world, show after show, show after show, an award, then another, then another. Beyonce knew how to give audiences what they wanted and more. What did she want? Beyonce stopped. She made time to find the answer. The world was gigantic. She was just a speck. Inspired, lighthearted, ready. From now on, Beyonce would be in charge of her dream. She made decisions. Her no meant no. Her yes meant everyone gave 100%. She made mistakes. She learned. She grew. She paid the bills. She decided what to sing and how to sing it. When Beyonce got on stage now, she was herself. She could also be anything she dreamed up. So could everyone who sang along. They could be goofy, grateful, bountiful, broken, crazy, jubilant, regal, angry, independent, forgiving, bright, healed, priceless, fierce. The world was her stage. Where could Beyonce shine the spotlight? On new artists, on women, on her hometown in trouble, on the beauty of her people, on the need for justice. Now Beyonce finds quiet, a drown out the noise, get to know herself kind of quiet. She listens, she keeps dreaming. And that is the end of Beyonce Shine Your Light, written by Sarah Warren and Geneva Bowers. Tonight we read three incredible books. May Among the Stars, written by Rhoda Ahmed, illustrated by Stasia Burrington. We also read Last Stop on Market Street, written by Matt De La Pena and illustrated by Christian Robinson. And last but certainly not least, we read Beyonce, Shine Your Light by Sarah Warren and Geneva Bowers. I had a great time reading with you all tonight, and I hope that you all enjoyed the books as well. Good night, and thank you for tuning into Bedtime Stories with Burst into Books. I'm your guest reader for tonight, Nicole Bascomb-Watson. Thank you. Good night, everyone.